is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. This month we're going to be doing a new show that's going to happen every month, simply called Sample Shopping. And just so you guys know, the intro music to these are always going to be a song. I'm really into hip-hop and jazz and soul and Motown stuff. And so every week I'm going to play a song that's some big hip-hop, or not big, but some classic hip-hop song or well-known hip-hop song sampled to make the beat. Some producer used it, and if you could guess what that is, you get a pat on the back from me. But so that's where the music's coming in, just from in the theme of sample shopping. So what we're going to do with this is every month pick up 3 samples or decants of fragrances that I find interesting and haven't gotten my nose on. Try them for the first time on my skin on camera and let you know what I think. Whether or not I'm going to wear it more before I make a decision on whether it warrants a purchase, or maybe I like it so much it's going on my buy list, or maybe I dislike it so much it's automatically excluded from further evaluation and going in the archives. This week we're checking out 3 different scents: Leather Oud by Christian Dior, Acqua de Parma's Oud Colonia, and Creed's Acier Aluminum. And in the future, houses that we'll be sniffing out stuff from include more Creed, Comme des Garçons, Frappin, Mona Diorio, Odin, etc. And where am I getting these from? Well, I know a lot of people prefer Surrender to Chance or Perfume Court or Lucky Scent, and those are really good, great sites with huge inventory. But I really like my buddy, who goes by the name Archerfire, aka Randy's tiny web store on the Badger and Blade website. He does all the work himself and has curated just an incredible collection of designer, niche, shaving, discontinued, and vintage scents. Does he have everything the other sites have? No. Are his prices and service 20 times better? Yes. And let me tell you something. He's got a nice little inventory. Let me just go over a few scents he has in his inventory. And he gets new stuff in all the time, basically. But as of right now, he's got stuff like CB I Hate Perfume Second Coming, Vintage Chanel Antius, discontinued Lorenzo Villaresi Vetiver, Creed's Orange Spice, discontinued Crown Spice Lime, Montel's Taj, which is a Paris exclusive, and the list goes on. And guess what? You go to Randy's site, put an order in, mention my show, 10% off the top for you guys. He's got almost everything in 2 ml, 4 ml, or 8 ml decants, all hand bottled and labeled. It's an amazing deal. And you know me, guys. I love supporting people with passion and people who love this form of art for our noses. I consider him a curator, and he's done a great job building up a hell of an inventory. So go smell some new shit and give the dude some business. Link to the store will be in the description, 10% off. Remember, mention the show. Now, just for the sake of disclosure, and to be fair about this, I have smelled all 3 of these on paper to sort of see how they involve and what their middle and base is about. And I have very sort of concrete opinions on these scents, and we'll see how they change based on them on my skin. I'm wearing no fragrance now. I'm going to spray 1 on each wrist and 1 on my forearm. So let's get to it, shall we? So let's sniff these 3 guys out. Let's start with Christian Dior's Oud Leather. This is, of course, Leather Oud, I'm sorry. This is, of course, an exclusive to the Dior stores, their boutiques, and I've been waiting to get a whiff of this for some time, really since Mark did the video where he posted what he picked up during his New York City trip. He got a big-ass bottle of this, and I think he was really high on it. I'm looking to pick up a Dior exclusive this year, and I want to get the right one. They're not cheap, but they're not too expensive. But you want to choose the right one. 4 ounces of this juice is going to set you back $155, 8 ounces $230, which breaks down to about $27 an ounce. So it's pretty cheap, but still a little bit of paper to get your foot in the Dior private collection door. That rhymed kind of nicely. Lots of notes in this guy, including oud from Indonesia. And I don't think we've really discussed oud on this show before. We'll go into it more when I do a review on an oud-based fragrance, but it's basically what oud is, guys, when a type of wood, specifically agar wood, becomes infected with mold. In response or in defense to the mold, the wood and trees send out a dark aromatic resin, and that resin-covered wood smells a certain way, and it's commonly referred to as oud. Some people love this smell, some people hate it. Some fragrances like Royal Oud by Creed and Oud Wood by Tom Ford, I don't think they really use that much real oud. It's very expensive, and they don't really present it, I feel like, in its true light. That is to say, they sort of surround it with other, let's say, nicer notes. Other notes in this fragrance by Dior are going to be leather, gaiac wood, cedar, and sandalwood. Okay, let's spray this guy on. See what we get. Alrighty, I got a 4 ml of this guy. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm smelling it right now, guys. Yeah, fuck this. Okay, so it's well done. It's well blended and authentic. It's potent. But it is not my cup of tea at all. Now, I haven't yet met the dry down on skin. I've smelled it on paper, but to me, it just becomes less awful and offensive. Someone on Fragrantica commented that this is what Normandy Beach must have smelled like after D-Day. Someone else said this is what a mummy's tomb must smell like after 1,000 years of rotten decay. I'm not willing to go that far, and a lot of people on those websites also think this is a masterpiece. Now, to me, guys, the worst thing I ever smelled, I live in New York City, and if you ever see a bunch of packed subway cars pass by and then one empty one, it's because either there's a dead body in the lone one, a crazy homeless man with a knife mumbling to himself about the Illuminati, or there's a horrible stench. So anyway, one day in June, like 8 years ago, every car was packed. I was trying to get to work, and I fell into the trap and got in the completely empty one. And there was a little old homeless man passed out in the end of the car, and he honestly smelled like Satan's shit. I'm not exaggerating. He smelled like a dead baby, stuffed with shit, rolled around in the urine of a dialysis patient who spent the whole day eating stale mayonnaise and goat cheese sandwiches. I almost vomited immediately. And this is nothing as bad as that is. I could see coming around to like this maybe. It's definitely got that dark, dark oud to it. I don't really get the leather. I mean, I came around to Guinness at some point, and espresso and gin. Those were acquired tastes, and I learned to like those, as well as foie gras. But to me, this is just very potent and different, guys. I don't get the leather at all. As I said, this is the real deal oud. This is what oud is really about. So if you're really looking for oud, look towards this one. And but so far, guys, I'm not a big fan of this one, and it will not be what I'll be purchasing from the Dior private line. So if I'm advising someone to buy, pass, or try this, if you like oud, I'd say try it. If you don't, I would say pass. Now, the next one we're going to sniff out, guys, is from the Acqua di Parma Colonia line, and this is Intense Oud Concentrate. And this guy runs about $180 for the 100 ml bottle. Acqua di Parma is, of course, the classic Italian brand of fragrances and bath products for men and women. They date back to 1916 when they were started in Parma, Italy. And I'm a little surprised that they jumped on the oud bandwagon. You know, when I think of Acqua di Parma, I think about very light and breezy Mediterranean scents, citrus and almonds and water. But let's see how they did with the oud added. Top notes on this are supposed to be citrus. Middle notes are supposed to be oud, my best friend, Russian coriander, and Haitian woods. And the base is supposed to be musk, leather, birch, vetiver, beeswax, amber, cardamom, and cloves. So a lot going on. I picked up a 2 ml of this one, guys. Let's see how this floats my boat. If I like this a little bit better than the other oud jump off. Okay. I do like this better. So this, I mean, this really does smell like an ADP scent mixed with a little bit of funkiness from the oud. I mean, it's not great. I wouldn't probably pay what they're asking for it, which is that 180. There is a nice freshness and a little bit of funkiness. It's got, kind of reminds me of Body Shop's White Mist in the way that it smells clean, but there's also just that little sort of slight bit of funkiness, which I guess the oud is. I keep playing around with this one, I think. You know, I'd keep trying this. I'd advise people to try this one. I wouldn't just recommend buying it, but if you like oud, you might enjoy this one. It's not as bad to me as leather oud. Now, finally, we're going to sniff out a creed that I've heard a lot of different things about, and that is Acier aluminum, which was made in 1973 by Creed, was inspired by the chainmail. That's the interlocking metal that knights wore. Doesn't get as much love as some of the other creeds get, but I've heard some great things about it. Top notes are supposed to be bergamot, mid notes are going to be spice and fruits, and the base notes are going to be vanilla and that signature ambergris, which gives Creed that freshness that is embedded in their DNA. Now, I've heard this has banana and metal notes in it, which mixed with the ambergris seems pretty neat to me. It isn't the easiest Creed to find, but if you can find it, it's one of those scents that's a little lighter on the wallet. Even if you do get it through Creed, I think 2.5 ounces is a very reasonable $175. So if this is a scent that you enjoy, it allows you to enter the Creed brand without having to pay a huge premium. So let's snip this last one out, guys. The Acier aluminum. I'll tell you if I'm fucking with this one or not. Two booms. Yeah, I don't know. This one really doesn't do it for me either. Just like I thought. I definitely get the ambergris, that freshness, but I'm starting to get sick of the Creed ambergris scents that really don't present anything else other than that ambergris. And this, I don't get the bananas at all, guys. I get some spice and some fruits and some wood, and this is a 1973 one. This smells like a dated Creed scent, which isn't to say it's a bad thing, because they have some older ones that I really like. You know, I really do like Royal Water, which is an older one, and Tabarone. But I wouldn't buy this, I don't think. I think, here's the breakdown on these guys. The Oud Leather by Dior, I'm just going to stay the fuck away from, I think. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll go back to it when it's colder out and see if anything changes in my mind as I start to learn more and smell more oud scents. So, but for now, yeah, just stay away from me. ADP Oud, I'll play around with this one a little bit more, as I said, see if I like it. And Acier, I'm not just tossing it away like the Dior one. Not to say I'm not going to abandon hope on it, but you know, I think I'll probably use the 2 ml. It's probably 1.5 or 1 I have left. And if it doesn't just shock me, and if it doesn't really come around, and the dry down is what I think it is because I've smelled it on paper, then you know, I probably won't be experimenting with Acier aluminum. It'll probably come off my Creed list because it was one that I did plan on buying based off the response I heard about it. So leather oud, not to offend anyone that loves that. I get it. Maybe I just haven't come around to that sort of scent yet. ADP oud, nah, and Acier aluminum. So there's the noises that tell you what it is. Anyway, thank you for watching this week's episode of Maximilian Must Know. Go to Archerfire's site, get yourself some discontinued or vintage stuff. Mention the show, save yourself some money. I will see you guys back here Sunday for my first review of a Penhaligon's fragrance, which I'm in love with, really like obsessed in love with. And then we'll be back next week, Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday we're going to be doing another male grooming / shaving show. And Sunday we're going to be doing another, I think, a designer scent next Sunday. This Sunday, Penhaligon's, next Sunday, a designer scent from the house of Yves Saint Laurent, or just Saint Laurent. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. Thank you for subscribing. Don't forget to hit like and comment. My name is Maximilian. You must know what.
Let me rub your back where you say it's sore. Come on, get closer and closer, so close to me.